Hello, Greg Lawson here. This is San Antonio Neighborhood Living. I just did a video to tell people who have bad credit that you can still buy a house, and I actually tell you how you can do it in that video. Now, this is sort of like a follow-up to that video, but in this video, I'm going to be telling people how you can buy a house if you don't have a lot of money. You know, people will tell you you have to save up a whole lot of money to prepare to buy a house. Well, that's not always necessarily the case. Now, I'm talking about people who have decent credit and you've got a good job, right? You have income, you just don't have a lot of savings. Well, guess what? You can still buy a house, and I'm going to tell you how to do it right now. Alright, so if you have never been to my channel, please subscribe and hit that bell and you'll be notified whenever I post another video. I love to educate you about real estate, and I love to show you the city of San Antonio and all the surrounding cities, the things that the different areas of town have to offer, show you the prices of the homes and all of that. So subscribe so you don't miss out. Now let's get into what we're talking about today. Like I said in the previous video, I talked about buying a home with bad credit. And there are a couple of different ways that you can do that, and I talked about that, and go ahead and check out that video if you're in that situation. But today we're talking about buying a home if you don't have much money. How do you buy a home if you don't have much money? Everybody talks about how you gotta save up a lot of money to buy a house. You're gonna have to save up a lot of money. It's not a bad idea to have money when you're buying a house. There are expenses involved, but you can buy a house with very little money. There are ways to do it. The first thing I want to talk about is a gift. You can receive a gift from your parents, from a rich uncle, your grandparents, somebody who wants to see you own a home and is willing to invest in you and help you. So that's one way. Talk to your mom, your dad. Dad, I want to buy a house. Can you help? You might be surprised. Dad might want to go ahead and help you out. That's an easy way to get you into a home. Dad can see that you're responsible. You've been paying your bills. You've been paying your rent on time. But, you know, renting is throwing money away. Dad is wise enough to know that. Grandpa, grandma, they're wise enough to know that. So they're going to want to help you get into a home. And if they can afford to do it, why wouldn't they? They're your parents, they're your grandparents, they love you. So that's one way that I want to mention, because even in the other ways that I'm going to show you how to get into a home with very little money, there still are some expenses you're going to have. You don't want to buy a house without getting it inspected. The house is going to require an appraisal. So these are things that are going to cost you hundreds of dollars, not thousands of dollars. But there will be some expense involved in buying a house, okay? So if you can get somebody to help you with that, then I can show you how to manage the rest of it, right? Okay, so are you a veteran? If you're a veteran, you have VA benefits and you can get a VA loan, and a VA loan will finance 100% on a home. If that's something that you are not aware of, then let me make you aware of that right now. You do have that benefit as a veteran of the United States military, and that can be a great benefit in getting you into a home. And in the previous video, obviously, I went over the reasons why you want to own a home and you do not want to rent. You're throwing money away. You want to get a home, you'll start to build equity. And once you start building equity, you can always move up. You know, you buy what you can afford, get you a little starter home if that's all you can afford. Stay in there for a few years and you'll be able to get a nicer home with the equity that you'll build. Now, if you're renting, you're not going to get anything when you move. You decide you want to buy a home and you move out of that apartment, you're not going to get anything towards your home. But if you're owning, no matter how small of a home, no matter how inexpensive of a home it is when you buy it, over time you're going to be able to build some equity in that home, and that's going to help you out in the future. It's so important. Now let's say you're not a veteran. What other ways can you get into a home with little to no money down? Well, there's a program called USP. Now, USP is a program, it was designed to help people in rural areas, but you don't necessarily have to be living on a farm to qualify for a USP loan. Typically, it has to be kind of outside the city limits or on the outskirts of the city, but it can be in a regular subdivision, doesn't have to be on the farm, on a ranch again, okay? And it may qualify for a USP loan just because of the location. And that USP loan, again, is going to finance 100% of the price of that house for you, okay? That's something we can talk about. If you're interested in that, contact me. My contact information is always in the comments below these videos, and I can explain it further to you. But it's really pretty simple process. I can see what's available as far as houses in the area that qualify for a USP loan. The other thing that I want to talk to you about is like the first time buyer programs, or what we call down payment assistance programs. Those programs typically will pay you 3.5%, which is the down payment required for an FHA loan, right? So if the FHA is going to do 96.5% of the value of your home, and then you get down payment assistance to pay the other 3.5%, guess what? Now that's 100%. Now you still may have some closing costs. Oftentimes I'll get the sellers to pay as much of that as I can for my clients, but you're still gonna have some expenses. So again, like I said, you're talking maybe hundreds, not thousands, but you're gonna have some expenses. So that's 3 different ways that you can purchase a home if you don't have much money. If you're a veteran, you're good to go there. If you purchase a home on the outskirts of town, then oftentimes that'll qualify you for the USP loan, 100% financing. Or if you're a first-time home buyer, you can definitely get down payment assistance. And oftentimes when they say first-time home buyer, it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be the first home that you've ever bought. It just means that you haven't purchased a home within a certain period of time. Sometimes it may be like the last 3 years, or it may be the last 5 years, or something like that. So again, check with me. We can check and see what's available for you, because you may qualify even though you might think that you don't. Oh, I used to own a home 10 years ago, so I don't qualify for first-time home buyer. Well, you probably do, okay? So let's talk about it, all right? And again, I do want to keep this video short, so if you have any other questions, feel free to contact me. Again, my information is in the comment section. You can call me, you can text me, you can even schedule a Zoom meeting, and we can meet face to face and talk about what I can do to help you become a homeowner. So that's gonna be my video for today. Don't forget to subscribe and tap that bell so you don't miss out on the next one, all right? So until next time, you take care. We'll see you then.